Your face, it's like a dinner roll. He wasn't finished. Oh no. He leaned back in his minimalist chair. His eyes, a startling, clear blue, roamed over my dress. A custom-made floral piece I'd thought was beautiful just 10 minutes ago. A slow, condescending smirk played on his lips. And that dress. God, did you steal that from a countryside bed and breakfast? It looks like a gingham tablecloth. And there it was, the moment my perfectly curated 24 years of privileged, sheltered life shattered. Not with a bang, but with the quiet, soul-crushing humiliation of being compared to a breadbasket and cheap diner furniture. In the middle of downtown's most painfully chic cafe, on a Saturday afternoon, have you ever had a moment where the world just stops? Where the air gets thick and you can hear the blood pounding in your ears? That was me, frozen. My name is Mia Sterling, and I was, for all intents and purposes, a princess. The sole heir to the Sterling Holdings fortune, one of the largest real estate development empires in the country. I was born on the finish line of a race I never even had to run. My life was a seamless reel of private schools, summers in Europe, luxury cars I didn't appreciate, and a bank account with a balance that looked more like a phone number. I had everything, and yet, here I was, being systematically dismantled by a man I'd never met before. Why? Why was I subjecting myself to this? Oh, right, my mother. It all started a week ago, after I'd returned home from 3 years of getting my master's degree in Boston. The plan, their plan, was for me to finally step into my role at the company, to become the heir apparent. Honestly, the thought of spreadsheets and zoning permits made my head ache. When you have enough money to last 10 lifetimes, the motivation to make more is elusive. But I loved my parents. They had built this empire for me, brick by painful brick. The least I could do was try not to run it into the ground. It was their life's work, their legacy. The weight of that legacy felt like a physical pressure on my shoulders. So, I was trying. I was trying to be the dutiful daughter. I was privileged, yes, but not spoiled. Not really. I'd seen what new money did to people, how it made them loud and thoughtless. I prided myself on being grounded as a girl with a private pilot's license can be. Anyway, maybe it was my best friend, Chloe, who kept me sane. We were the classic odd couple. Me, the heiress. Her, the brilliant, kind-hearted accountant from a working-class family, raised by a single dad after a messy divorce. She was the kind of person who radiated goodness, and I guess I hoped some of it would rub off on me. You know what they say, you are the company you keep, and with Chloe, I felt like a better person. I'd taken a few months off after returning home, a buffer before diving into the corporate shark tank. I spent my days reconnecting with my old high school friends. We were a group of 5, and now, 3 of them were married. One even brought her 2 toddlers to our Sunday brunch, a chaotic whirlwind of juice boxes and frantic apologies. It was a lot. One friend had to rush home to make dinner for her husband. Another had to leave for a parent-teacher conference. Their lives seemed so tethered to husbands, to children, to in-laws. It was a suffocating tapestry of obligations, and in those moments, watching them, I'd think to myself, maybe I'll just stay single, free, unburdened. It seemed so much simpler. The only other single one in our group was Chloe. After the married moms had fled, it was just us, sitting in the quiet aftermath, sipping our lattes. That's when she brought it up. Hey Mia, remember I called you last week about my brother? Of course. You said he was looking for a new job. Yeah. She slid a crisp manila folder across the table. This is his resume. I was hoping. Could you maybe pass it along at your dad's company? I raised an eyebrow. Is he really into real estate? Well, he was at an agency before, but it was on the other side of the city. We're sharing an apartment to save on rent, and having him work closer would be a lifesaver, honestly. 2 separate rents would kill us. Can you help, Mia? Please. I looked at her hopeful face. Chloe rarely asked for anything. How could I say no? All right. I'll take it over to the office this afternoon. Don't worry. Tell your brother to get ready for an interview. Her face lit up with a gratitude that made me feel both powerful and a little guilty for how easy it was for me. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Don't mention it. So, do you guys get back to your hometown much? About once a month. It's a small town, kind of rustic. You should come with us sometime. I'll take you to the coast. Is it far from your house? About a 20-minute drive. I mean, I'm sure you'd think it's poor and boring. Hey, I cut her off gently. You know me better than that. I've never been the type to judge, and I love the ocean. I'll definitely take you up on that. Our friendship was an anchor for me. She was a constant reminder of a world outside my gilded cage, a world of real struggles and real triumphs. Her parents' divorce had been brutal, yet she'd graduated top of her class, year after year. She was resilient in a way I'd never had to be. Later that day, I walked into the gleaming headquarters of Sterling Holdings, the resume in my tote bag. I handed it to Jennifer, the head of HR. Hey Jen, could you take a look at this for me? She smiled warmly, her eyes flicking down to the folder. Oh, a new boyfriend you're trying to sneak onto the payroll, Mia. I laughed. God, no. It's my best friend's brother. Just see what you think. For the future boss, she winked. I'll put him at the top of the pile. If his resume checks out, I'll call him for an interview tomorrow. Tomorrow? That fast? The perks of being the princess, my dear. I thanked her, feeling that familiar twinge of unease at having things handed to me. That night, Chloe called, ecstatic, thanking me over and over. She promised to make me her famous BBQ ribs as a thank you. At dinner, my dad brought it up. So, my darling daughter, he began, his voice warm, but with an edge of business. When are you officially starting at the office? Beginning of next month, Dad. I'm just enjoying this last bit of freedom. Good. It's going to be a lot tougher than university, you know. Mentally exhausting. Are you prepared? I'm ready, Dad. Don't worry. He nodded, a proud smile on his face. That's my girl. That's the future CEO of Sterling Holdings. Dad, please, I groaned. You're making me nervous. The pressure is a lot. What pressure? It's the truth. But what if I disappoint you? What if I'm not good enough? My mother reached across the table, her hand soft on mine. We will always believe in you, sweetheart. You're brilliant. An idea popped into my head. You know, you guys could always give me a sibling, a little brother to share the burden with. They looked at each other and then laughed. A sad, knowing kind of laugh. My mom stroked my hair. You really want a sibling? Yes, a baby brother. Oh, honey, I wanted more children, so badly. But my health, it just wasn't possible. You're our one and only miracle, Mia. We're counting on you. The pressure returned, heavier than before. Well, my dad said, changing the subject with practiced ease. Then you should get married. You'll have a partner to share the load. We'll have another son. It's a win-win. I was still naive then, clinging to my fantasy of a single, independent life. I waved my hand dismissively. I'll think about that later, Mom. For now, I'm confident. I can handle the company on my own. You'll see. They smiled, their faces a mixture of pride and trust. And every time they looked at me that way, the weight on my shoulders grew, pressing down, reminding me of everything I stood to lose if I failed. I was determined to prove to them and to myself that I was strong enough, that I could carry their world. The next few weeks were a blur. I started at the company as the director of sales, a title that felt too big for me. I was working and taking advanced business courses at night to catch up. I was so buried in work, I barely had time to breathe. I heard from HR that Chloe's brother, Liam, his name was Liam, had been hired as a sales associate, but I was too swamped to even go over and introduce myself. It was strange. I'd been best friends with Chloe for years, but I'd never once met her brother. In the last 3 years, while I was away at school, we'd only talked on the phone. I couldn't even picture his face. All I knew was that Chloe was short, so I figured he was probably the same. A short, quiet guy. That was the image in my head. My life became a monotonous cycle of work and study. My parents were thrilled, shocked even, by my sudden dedication. Their pride was a fuel that both energized and terrified me. 24 years, and I'd never even been in a real relationship. I didn't know the first thing about love. My parents, noticing my singular focus on work, decided it was time to intervene. It was time for matchmaking, and in our world, that meant finding a man from a family of equal or greater standing. A merger of dynasties. At first, I fought it hard, but my mother was persistent. Just meet him, Mia. Just one coffee. If you don't like him, you never have to see him again. What's the harm? After a week of her gentle but relentless persuasion, I caved. I agreed, partly to make her happy, and partly out of a morbid curiosity. What kind of man gets set up by his mother? And honestly, after nearly 25 years on this earth, I wanted to know what it felt like. A date. It seemed so foreign, so quaint. So I said yes. I'd go on one blind date. It was just a coffee. What could possibly go wrong? The man my mother had chosen was named Julian Vance, 28 years old, the son and heir of the Vanguard Automotive Group, a titan of the industry. His mother and my mother were old friends from the charity ball circuit. It was a perfect match, on paper, except Julian Vance didn't want to go. He was madly in love with his best friend's little sister, Chloe. When his mother announced the arranged meeting with the sterling heiress, he refused, outright. But his mother was a formidable woman. She threatened to freeze his trust fund. And she wasn't bluffing. She'd done it twice before. He was trapped. Panicked, he called his best friend, Liam. "Hello, Liam? You done with work yet?" Julian's voice was strained. "Just finishing up with a client. Probably won't be home till 8. What's up? Okay, I'll pick you up at 8. We need to get dinner. It's an emergency." "All right. See you then." That night, over a plate of overpriced pasta, Julian laid out his dilemma. "She's making me go on a blind date, man." Liam shrugged. "So, what's the big deal? Might be good for you. You could meet someone amazing." "Amazing?" Julian slammed his fork down. "You know I'm in love with Chloe. With your sister." "I know, Julian. But let's be real. Your parents are never going to approve of her. You know my family situation." "I'll deal with my parents later. The problem is tomorrow night. I have to meet this girl. What am I going to do? Just don't go. And have my accounts frozen? Again? No way." Julian's eyes suddenly lit up with a desperate, brilliant, and terrible idea. "Liam, you go for me." Liam choked on his water. "Are you insane? How would that even work?" "Why not? This girl, Mia, she's never seen me. You go, you pretend to be me. I'll pay you $20,000. No way. That's just weird. 40,000. It's not about the money, Julian. I'm not doing it. $100,000. No. Julian's desperation escalated. He begged, he pleaded, he grabbed Liam's arm, his voice cracking. Please, man, do this for me, just this one time. Name your price. When pleading didn't work and bribery failed, Julian resorted to his final, most effective weapon, public humiliation. He slid out of his chair and lay down on the floor of the fancy restaurant, right in the middle of the aisle. Liam, you have to help me. If you don't, I'll just lie here forever. Diners stared, waiters froze. Liam's face turned crimson. Julian, get up. What the hell are you doing? People are looking. Not until you agree. Promise you'll go for me. This is insane. What if she finds out? She won't. She doesn't know what I look like. How could she possibly know you're not me? Just give me one good reason. One logical reason why I should do this. Julian sat up, his expression suddenly serious. Because of Chloe. I'm doing this because I love your sister. I don't want to go on this date and give her the wrong idea. I don't want her to get hurt. Helping me. You're helping her. Is that a good enough reason? Liam let out a long, defeated sigh. Fine. I'll go. Now get off the damn floor before you get us thrown out. Julian scrambled up, his face beaming. Really? You'll really do it? You're the best, man. Don't thank me yet. So, what's the plan? Okay, here's what you do. You have to be an absolute asshole. What? I don't want a second date, so you need to make sure she doesn't want one either. Insult her. Be rude. Make her hate my guts. The more she hates me, the more successful the mission. Got it? You want me to. Go on a date with a stranger and just insult her? Exactly. You're smart, handsome. You're my hero, Liam. Julian threw his arms around his friend. Oh God, stop. You're making my skin crawl. Just think of me as your future brother-in-law. That depends entirely on whether you can actually win my sister over. Don't count your chickens. After their pact was sealed, Julian took Liam on a shopping spree. If you're going to be me, you have to look the part. We need to get you suited up. Is this really necessary? You're playing the heir to the Vanguard Automotive Group. You can't show up in your work clothes. She'd laugh in your face. He bought Liam an impeccably tailored suit, a new phone, an expensive watch. He prepped him for his role as a wealthy, arrogant jerk. And me, I was completely oblivious, listening to my mother gush about the date she had so carefully arranged. Oh, Mia, you're going to love Julian. He's so handsome, so tall. He's the son of my dear friend Eleanor. You remember Eleanor from the museum gala? This is her boy. If this works out, it would be just perfect. And what if I don't like him, Mom? Impossible. You'll meet him and you'll fall for him instantly. I just know it. I didn't share her confidence, but I had agreed. So at 1 o'clock the next day, I drove to the cafe, my mind a blank slate, ready for whatever this strange ritual had in store. The traffic was a nightmare. A fender bender on the main bridge had everything backed up for miles. I was going to be late on my first ever blind date. Great. I didn't even have his number to text him. Then again, I thought, who cares? It's not like I'm trying to impress him. This whole thing is a farce anyway. I finally arrived, a full 30 minutes late, and rushed inside. The cafe was quiet, bathed in afternoon light, and there he was, sitting at a small table by the window. Julian, or the man I thought was Julian, was dressed in a way that screamed quiet money. As I walked towards him, he looked up, and for a second, my breath caught in my throat. He was beautiful. Not just handsome, but genuinely, breathtakingly beautiful. a face that belonged on a movie screen. My first thought was, wow. My second was, maybe Mom was right. He was so lost in thought, staring out the window, that he didn't even see me approach. "Hello," I said, my voice a little breathless. "I'm so sorry I'm late. The traffic was insane." "Nothing." He just kept staring. "Hello," I said again, a little louder. "I'm Mia. I'm sorry I'm late." That finally snapped him out of it. He blinked, turning to me, as if seeing me for the first time. "Oh, yeah. No problem. Please, sit." I sat down, my heart doing a little flutter. He was even better looking up close. We made the usual awkward small talk. "I'm Mia Sterling. I work in real estate. It's nice to finally meet you." Liam looked at me, and I could see a flicker of something in his eyes. Admiration, surprise, before it was quickly extinguished. He seemed flustered. He was thinking, she's the one. After 28 years of being alone, this is what it feels like to be struck by lightning. Too bad I have to be Julian Vance today. He quickly composed himself. "Good to meet you. I'm Julian Vance. I'm with Vanguard." He cleared his throat. "My mother has told me a lot about you." "Mine too. She sings your praises." We sat in silence for a moment. He seemed to be steeling himself for something. Then he looked me straight in the eye, his whole demeanor shifting. The warmth vanished, replaced by a cold, appraising arrogance. He was remembering Julian's instructions. Be an asshole. "So, Mia, what kind of man are you looking for?" The question caught me off guard. "Oh, I don't really have a type. I just have to feel a connection, you know." "What about you?" He scoffed. A small, ugly sound. "My standards are very high." He looked me up and down again, slowly this time, and I felt my skin start to crawl. "You're pretty, I guess, but you're not my type." I forced a tight smile. "Oh, really? Yeah. I like women who are explosive, sexy, curves in all the right places, eyes that know what they want, not, you know." He gestured vaguely at me. "What about me?" I asked, my voice dangerously quiet. He sighed, shaking his head with theatrical pity. "You're tall, I'll give you that, but your face..." And that's when he said it, the line that would be seared into my brain forever. "Your face. It's like a dinner roll." My mind reeled, trying to process the sheer audacity. A dinner roll? He was comparing my face, the face my mother had always called perfectly heart-shaped, to a carbohydrate, and my dress. This wasn't just any dress. This was a piece from a rising independent designer, a dress I'd paid a small fortune for, a dress that had been featured in magazines, a dress that had made me feel powerful and feminine when I put it on this morning, and he had just called it a tablecloth. I could feel the blood rushing to my cheeks, a hot, prickly wave of shame and fury. For the first time in my life, I was utterly speechless. Who was this person? "You know," I finally managed, my voice tight and strained. "What I think." He raised a perfectly sculpted eyebrow, feigning interest. "Do tell." "I think you're the most arrogant, repulsive man I have ever had the misfortune of meeting." He just smiled, that infuriatingly handsome, smug smile. "And I'm telling you the truth. For a guy like me, a girl like you, I could have a dozen of you with a snap of my fingers. I don't need to waste my time on some matchmaking nonsense." The dam broke. All the years of polite society, of being the poised, well-mannered daughter, evaporated in a flash of white-hot anger. "A guy like you?" I spat the words out. "And who the hell are you, exactly?" "I'm Julian Vance," he declared, as if the name itself was a crown. "Son of the founder of the Vanguard Automotive Group." the largest in the country, and you are. He left the question hanging, a clear implication that my identity was irrelevant. I laughed, a bitter, humorless sound. You think Vanguard is so big? You think that gives you the right to treat people like this? I leaned forward, my eyes locked on his. You want to know something? I could buy your father's entire company tomorrow morning and turn it into a parking lot. Just for fun. A man who looks down on others like you do. I can guarantee you, you will die alone. I didn't wait for a response. I stood up so abruptly my chair scraped loudly against the floor, drawing stares from the other patrons. Meeting you was a complete and utter waste of my time. Goodbye. I turned and walked out, my head held high, my back ramrod straight. But the second the cafe door closed behind me, my composure crumbled. I practically ran to my car, my hands shaking so badly, I could barely unlock the door. I sat in the driver's seat, gripping the steering wheel, my knuckles white, and just breathed. In and out, in and out. That man, that absolute monster. How could my mother have known someone like that? The rest of the afternoon was a write-off. I drove to the office, but I couldn't focus. His words echoed in my head. Dinner roll, gingham tablecloth. I stared at my reflection in the dark screen of my computer. Was my face really that round? Was my taste in clothes really that rustic? No. He was the one with the problem. A massive, gaping hole where his soul should be kind of problem. I needed to talk to someone. I needed to vent before I exploded. I pulled out my phone and called the one person who would understand. Hello. Chloe's voice was a welcome comfort. It's me. Hey, how's work? Awful. I need a drink. A lot of drinks. Are you busy tonight? I get off at 6. What's wrong? You sound really upset. I am. It's a long story. Let's get dinner. My treat. I need my friend right now. Okay. 6 o'clock. I'll be ready. Are you okay? I will be. After a bottle of wine. Or 2. Meanwhile, in a sports bar across town, Julian and Liam were celebrating. Julian was ecstatic. She left after 30 minutes. 30 minutes! That's a new record. He clapped Liam on the back. What on earth did you say to her? Liam took a long pull from his beer. I just did what you told me to. I was rude. I told her she was ugly, that she looked ridiculous. Details, man. I need details. This is priceless. I told her her face looked like a dinner roll, and that her dress looked like a tablecloth from a chicken coop. Julian howled with laughter, slapping the table so hard that beer sloshed onto the floor. A chicken coop. Oh my God, that's brutal. You actually said that, word for word. Her face. I wish I could have seen her face. Man, I should have been there, sitting at the next table. That would have been epic. Liam sighed, swirling the beer in his glass. To be honest, though, she was really beautiful. I really liked her. Then you should go after her. I'll call my mom, get her number for you. You can approach her as yourself this time. Liam immediately shook his head. No way. Not a chance. If she ever saw me again, she'd probably chew my head off and spit it out. One meeting was more than enough. So, you're just going to let her go? Look, I'm Liam, not Julian Vance. I'm a sales associate who can barely make rent. She's the heir to a real estate empire. What would I even do with a girl like that? It's impossible. Let's just drop it. He raised his glass. To a successful mission. To a successful mission. Julian cheered. Let's get wasted. I owe you big time. Later that night, Chloe and I were a mess. A happy, drunken, stumbling mess. We had, in fact, finished 2 bottles of wine. The sharp edges of my humiliation had been blurred into a soft, fuzzy anger. As we walked toward her apartment building, I swayed, pointing at a random building with a bright blue door. "Here we are, we're home," I declared, lurching towards it. Chloe grabbed my arm, laughing. "No, you idiot. That's not it. My place is up there. You're so drunk you can't even find the right building." "I'm not drunk," I slurred indignantly. "Hey, where's my car? I sent it home with a valet, remember? You are in no condition to drive. You're crashing at my place tonight." "Oh, okay. Good plan." When we finally made it inside her apartment, I collapsed onto the sofa. "Are you okay?" she asked, looking at my pale face with concern. The alcohol had unlocked my grievances. I started to whine, my words slurring together. "Chloe, that jerk. He insulted me." Who dared to insult my best friend? "Tell me, and I'll tear him apart." That rich guy, the one from the blind date." Chloe's eyes went wide. "You went on a blind date?" "Yeah, my mom made me, and he was awful. He was handsome, but his personality was just trash." My voice cracked. "He looked me right in the face and insulted me." "To my face?" "No way." "What did that asshole say?" He said my face looked like a dinner roll." The absurdity of it hit me again, and a fresh wave of indignation washed over me. "And my dress. He said it looked like a chicken coop tablecloth. He said a guy like him could have a dozen girls like me. He was the worst." Chloe was furious on my behalf. "What? Are you serious? He's clearly got some serious issues. No sane person says things like that." I felt the sting of tears in my eyes, a mixture of anger and hurt. I just feel so stupid. It was my first blind date ever, and it was a catastrophe. Why is my life like this? I'm not that ugly, am I? Ugly? Mia, you're gorgeous. You're beautiful and smart, and your family is loaded. You're going to find someone who deserves you. Don't you dare let some insecure jerk make you feel bad about yourself." I nodded, sniffling. "You're right. He's the crazy one. He's a freak. If I ever see him again, I swear, I'm going to punch him right in his stupid, handsome face." I mumbled a few more curses before the world finally faded, and I passed out on her couch. An hour later, two figures stumbled down the hallway, far louder than Chloe and I had been. It was Liam and Julian, roaring drunk, arm in arm, singing a terrible, off-key rendition of a pop song. Chloe heard the commotion and came out of her bedroom, a finger to her lips. "Shh, you two, keep it down. My friend is sleeping in here." "You have a friend over?" Julian asked, his words slurred. "Who is it?" "It's Mia," she whispered. "She had a really bad day. We went out for a few drinks, and she was so wasted she passed out. She's sleeping on the sofa." Liam froze. "Mia? You mean Mia Sterling, my boss?" "Yeah. Why do you sound so surprised?" "I told you she was coming over." "Poor thing. She's so upset. She went on a blind date with some psycho who totally insulted her. Can you believe that? What a loser." Julian, who had been taking a sip from a water bottle, choked, spraying water everywhere. A blind date. What a coincidence. Liam's mind was racing, connecting the dots with a terrifying speed. Mia Sterling. Blind date. Insulted. A cold dread started to creep up his spine. It couldn't be. Could it? Chloe looked from one to the other, confused. "What's wrong with you two? You're acting weird. Did you drink too much?" "No, it's just..." Julian started, but Liam cut him off. Both of them turned their heads slowly, cautiously, towards the living room. And there, passed out on the sofa, was a figure in a floral dress, Liam's blood ran cold. He recognized it immediately. Julian squinted, then whispered in horror, Is that the chicken coop tablecloth dress you were talking about?" "Yes," Liam breathed, the word barely audible. "It's her." "Oh my God, Julian, I'm dead." He grabbed his friend's arm, his knuckles white. "I'm so dead." The full, catastrophic reality of the situation crashed down on him. The woman he had systematically humiliated this afternoon wasn't just some random stranger. She was his new boss. She was his best friend's sister's best friend. And she was currently passed out drunk on his living room couch. All the air left his lungs. He could feel a cold sweat breaking out on his forehead. He thought of the things he'd said. Dinner roll, chicken coop. He was going to be fired, at the very least. At worst, she would make his life a living hell. Julian, seeing the sheer terror on his friend's face, immediately sobered up and tried to back away. "Okay, well, it's getting late. I should probably head home. You guys have a good night." Liam grabbed his shirt, his eyes wide with panic. "Wait, take me with you. I'll sleep at your place." "What? Why? Are you hiding from her?" "Of course I'm hiding from her. If she wakes up and sees me, she'll kill me. You have to let me come with you." All right, let's go." Chloe came back into the living room with 2 glasses of lemon water, only to find the room empty. "Hey, where did those 2 go?" She checked her phone and saw a text from Liam. "Hey sis," locking the door and heading out. "Going to crash at Julian's tonight. See you in the morning." She shook her head in bewilderment. Meanwhile, across town, Liam was pacing Julian's expensive living room, unable to calm down. "I can't sleep," he said, running a hand through his hair for the 10th time. "I just keep thinking about it." "Relax," Julian mumbled from the couch. "She doesn't know what you really look like. She thinks you're me. But I work for her now. We're in the same company. It's only a matter of time before we run into each other. She'll recognize me. She'll know I tricked her, that I insulted her, and she'll fire me on the spot. Just be careful. You work in different departments, right? Just lay low and avoid her." "I don't know if I can. This is bad, Julian. This is really, really bad. And it's all your fault." "My fault? Hey, I paid you. Just let me think. Maybe I can avoid her. Maybe she'll never see me." He closed his eyes, praying to a God he wasn't sure he believed in. "Please, just let me be invisible." The next morning, Liam crept back to his apartment like a thief. He stood outside the front door, hesitating, listening. Chloe was sweeping the floor in the kitchen. She saw him hovering by the entrance and called out, "Liam, you're back? Why don't you come inside? Why are you just standing out there?" He forced a weak, awkward smile. "Hey sis, is your friend gone yet?" "No, she's still asleep in there." He flinched. "Seriously, what is wrong with you? Are you scared of her or something? Why won't you come in?" "It's just, I'm shy around new people." "Shy? Liam, I am so done with you. Get in here. She's asleep. She's not going to bite you." He didn't move, terrified that at any moment I might wake up, see his face, and the world would end. Could you just go into my room and get me a fresh set of clothes? Please? I don't want to come in. I feel weird." Chloe threw her hands up in exasperation. "Oh my God, what is wrong with you? She's my best friend. She's not going to eat you. Why are you being so strange?" "I don't know. Just please, can you get my clothes for me?" She rolled her eyes but relented, grabbing his work clothes and practically shoving them into his hands. "Here, you need to meet her properly sometime. Are you just going to hide at Julian's every time she comes over?" He didn't answer, just mumbled a thanks, darted into his room to change, and fled the apartment without another word. Chloe was left standing there, completely baffled by her brother's bizarre behavior. He's so shy, she thought, shaking her head. No wonder he's still single. I woke up around 8 a.m. to the smell of coffee. Chloe had already left for work. On the kitchen table, there was a bowl of oatmeal and a note. Made you some breakfast. Eat up before you go. Just lock the door and take my spare key with you. You can drop it off at your office later. See, I smiled. She was the best kind of friend, thoughtful and solid. I ate the oatmeal, my head still throbbing from the wine, and then headed home to shower before going into the office. Later that afternoon, Chloe stopped by my office to pick up her key. Feeling better? She asked, leaning against my doorframe. Much. Thanks for taking care of me last night. Anytime. Hey, stick around for a bit after work. We can grab dinner together. Sounds good. Oh, by the way, how's your brother doing? He's in the sales department, right? I've been so swamped, I haven't even had a chance to check in on him. I think he's doing okay. He just closed a deal on a new property, so he seems to have a knack for it. Really? That's great. Tell him I said hello, and that I'd love to take you both out to dinner sometime to celebrate. Chloe smiled. I'll tell him, but he probably won't come. Why not? I don't know, he's just really shy. He gets weird around new people. I couldn't even get him to come out of his room this morning while you were there. Really? That's odd. Tell me about it. Anyway, finish up your work. I'm going to pop over and see him for a minute. Okay. See you in a bit. Liam was typing away at his desk when Chloe walked into the sales department. She greeted his co-workers politely before making her way to his cubicle. Hey, you, how's work? He looked up, surprised. Good. Everything's fine. It suits me. He smiled faintly. Thanks again for getting me this job, sis. Don't be silly. Hey, Mia just said she wants to take us both out for a celebratory dinner. Liam's face immediately fell. He shook his head, a little too quickly. No, I can't. Why not? It's dinner. She wants to be nice. I'm busy. I have a lot of work to catch up on. It's a dinner invitation, Liam, not a summons. She's talking about a weeknight, not during work hours. I'm busy at night too. Lots of projects. What about Sunday? Sunday's also busy. Chloe stared at him, frustrated. Fine. You two just go have fun. I don't want to be a third wheel. What are you even talking about? Is there something else you need? If not, I've really got to get back to this. She sighed, defeated. Okay, fine. I'm heading out. Work hard. A little while later, Liam's department manager, who was leaving for the day, stopped by his desk. Hey, Liam, I'm heading out. Can you take this file up to the director's office for her signature? Sure. No problem. Which office is it? Office number 8. On the top floor. Got it. He took the folder and walked towards the executive suites. Office number 8. He knocked lightly on the door. Come in, a voice called from inside. He pushed the door open and walked straight to the large mahogany desk, his eyes on the file in his hands. Excuse me, Director. I have a file here that needs your signature. He placed it on the desk, and only then did he look up to see the face of the director. His entire world stopped. It was her, the woman from the cafe, the woman whose face he had compared to a dinner roll. His boss was her. For a terrifying second, his legs felt like they were going to give out. His mind went completely blank. All he could think was, I'm dead. It's over. I just walked into the lion's den and served myself up on a platter. Luckily for him, I was engrossed in something on my computer screen and hadn't looked up yet. Seizing the opportunity, Liam spun around and made a panicked dash for the door. In his haste, he misjudged the distance and slammed his shoulder into the doorframe, stumbling with a loud thud. The noise made me jump. "What on earth are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry? Aren't you going to wait for my signature? Just sign it," he squeaked, his back still to me. I'll come back for it later." "Wait, what is wrong with you?" But he was already gone, scrambling out of the office and down the hall as if the hounds of hell were nipping at his heels. I stared after him, completely perplexed. What was that all about? Was he running from a ghost? I shook my head. Am I really that intimidating? He looked at me like he'd seen a monster. That evening, when I got home, my mother was waiting for me. She'd just returned from a trip. "Mia, darling, come here. I want to ask you something." "What is it, Mom?" "So, how was the blind date? Did you two exchange numbers?" The memory of that disastrous afternoon came flooding back, and with it, a fresh wave of irritation. "Mom, now that you mention it, I am so angry right now. How could you? Of all the people in the world, you set me up with a complete and utter lunatic." My mother's eyes widened in shock. "What? Julian is a lunatic? Are you serious?" "Yes, he's got a serious mental problem. Your daughter is beautiful, talented, and brilliant. And that thing you set me up with had the nerve to tell me my face looks like a dinner roll and my dress looks like a chicken coop tablecloth. He said I wasn't his type, that he likes sexy, curvy women. Can you believe he said that to my face? I am so disappointed, Mom." My mother was stunned. That's impossible. The Vanguards are such a powerful, respected family. How could their son be so unhinged? It must be some kind of cosmic balance. She quickly pulled out her phone and started swiping through photos. "Here, look, this is him. Isn't he handsome? It's such a shame his brain is broken." She showed me the screen. I looked at the picture, and then I looked again. It was a photo of a smiling, handsome man with his family. But it wasn't him. It wasn't the man from the cafe. "Wait," I said, confused. "This is Julian Vance?" "Yes, of course it is. This is their family Facebook page. They just took this on vacation last week. I'm friends with his mother, Mia. I know what her son looks like." My mind was spinning. But that's not the man I met. The man I met looked completely different. A dozen confusing possibilities ran through my head. "Are you sure you didn't get something mixed up, Mom?" "How could I be mixed up? I know my friends, and I know their children." "Well, whatever," I said, shaking my head to clear it. "I don't want to talk about it anymore. Whether it was the real Julian Vance or some imposter, it doesn't matter. From now on, please, no more matchmaking. It just brings me nothing but stress." I went up to my room, but my mind wouldn't rest. I kept thinking about the man in the cafe. If he wasn't Julian Vance, then who was he? And why would he pretend to be someone else just to insult me? It didn't make any sense. I tried to push it out of my mind. I had work to do. So much work. Eventually, the mystery of the handsome, cruel stranger faded into the background noise of my busy life, until the day I ran into him again. In the elevator at work, I was running late, juggling a coffee and my laptop bag. I saw the elevator doors closing and made a dash for it. "Hold the elevator, please." A hand shot out and stopped the doors. I rushed inside, breathless. "Thank you so much." And then I looked up, and my blood ran cold. It was him, the man from the cafe, and he was wearing a white button-down shirt and a Sterling Holdings employee ID badge clipped to his pocket. I breathed, my voice barely a whisper. He saw me, and the color drained from his face. He immediately turned his head away, staring intently at the elevator wall, pretending he hadn't seen me. "Hello, Director," he mumbled, his voice tight. "Turn around," I commanded, my voice like ice. He didn't move. I reached out, grabbed the collar of his shirt, and physically yanked him around to face me. I said, "Turn around." I stared at his face, confirming what I already knew. It was him. The same perfect features, the same terrified eyes. Just as I was about to demand an explanation, the elevator doors dinged open. He saw his chance. He bolted. "Stop. Get back here." He didn't listen. He sprinted out of the elevator and down the hall, with me in hot pursuit. There was no way I was letting him get away this time. I needed answers. He veered towards the stairwell, clearly trying to escape the building. I was wearing heels, and I couldn't keep up. So, I did the only logical thing I could think of. I slipped off my right heel, a very expensive, very sharp stiletto, took aim, and threw it as hard as I could. It was a perfect shot. The heel hit him squarely in the back of the head. He yelped in pain and stumbled, falling to his knees. I was on him in a second, grabbing his arm. I looked at his face, then down at the employee ID badge hanging from his neck. The name read, Liam Evans. The department, Sales, Division 03. And suddenly, all the pieces clicked into place with a sickening thud. Liam Evans, Chloe's brother. The shy, quiet man who was supposedly terrified of meeting me. The man I had gotten a job for. I felt a cold, hard knot of fury form in my stomach. "My office," I hissed, my voice dangerously low. Now, he hung his head, defeated. "I know I messed up, Director. Please, just forgive me." "My office." He followed me back, a prisoner being led to his execution. The charming, arrogant Julian Vance was gone, replaced by a terrified, trembling employee. He stood outside my office door, hesitating. I could see the fear in his eyes. He knew he was trapped. He knew the reckoning was coming, and I was going to enjoy every second of it. Liam stood hovering outside my office door, paralyzed by fear. His manager walked by and saw him. "Liam, what are you doing out here?" "Oh, Mr. Henderson." "I see," the manager said, a knowing smirk on his face, trying to sneak a peek at the beautiful director. "Are we?" No, that's not it at all," Liam stammered, his face turning a deep shade of red. I just have some business with her." "Well, she's in there. Go on in. Don't just stand there like a stalker." Taking a deep breath, as if preparing to walk the plank, Liam pushed the door open and stepped inside. He kept his head bowed, his eyes fixed on the plush carpet. "Hello, Director." My patience was worn thin. "Look at me," I snapped. He flinched, but slowly, hesitantly, he raised his head. His hands were trembling. I leaned back in my chair, enjoying the moment a little more than I should have. "It's time you told me the truth, all of it." His words came out in a rushed, mumbled apology. "I'm sorry, Director. Please, forgive me this one time." "Forgive you for what? Exactly? Be specific." "I'm sorry for deceiving you. I'm sorry for pretending to be Julian Vance. I'm really sorry. You were an imposter." "Why? What was your goal?" He took another shaky breath and explained everything. The story of his best friend, Julian, being in love with someone else and being forced into the blind date. The desperate plan they had concocted. "At first I refused," he said, his voice pleading, "but he begged me. I only did it as a favor to a friend. I'm so sorry for the things I said. They weren't They weren't my real thoughts. So you were just following orders. You ruined my day, humiliated me in public, and you expect me to believe you were just being a good friend. I know it was wrong. I don't just feel annoyed, Liam. I feel like I want to kill you. I'm sorry, Director. Besides apologizing, I don't know what else I can do. Please, just give me a chance. A chance? As easy as that. Then, what do I have to do? Tell me. I'll do anything. I haven't thought of it yet, I said, tapping a pen against my desk. But when I do, I'll let you know. He looked relieved, as if he'd been granted a temporary stay of execution. Okay, please, take your time. If that's all, I'll go back to my department now. He turned to leave, but I stopped him. Wait. He froze, turning back slowly. Yes, Director? I leaned forward, my eyes narrowed. The chicken coop. What is that? Exactly. He looked utterly confused. The chicken coop. You said my dress looked like a tablecloth from a chicken coop. So, I want to know, what does a chicken coop look like? He scratched his head, clearly bewildered by the question. It's a cage. For chickens. Some people call it a hen house. A cage for chickens, I repeated, my voice dangerously soft. And what, precisely, does that have to do with my dress? Well, your dress, it had a pattern that sort of reminded me of a chicken coop. He rushed to explain. But chicken coops can be beautiful, in a rustic way. It was Julian's idea. He told me I had to be rude so you would hate him and never want to see him again. It was the first stupid thing that popped into my head. I didn't mean it. The first stupid thing that popped into your head. I echoed, my voice rising. You do realize that words, once spoken, can't be taken back, right? You hurt someone's feelings, and you call it an off-the-cuff remark. Is your mouth always this careless? I'm sorry, Director. Truly. The moment you walked in, I thought you were incredibly beautiful, but because of Julian's plan, I had to say all those horrible things. The truth is, Director, you're stunning. I scoffed. You think I'm going to believe that now? You're mistaken. I will never believe a word you say. That's up to you, Director. I've said what I needed to say. If you don't believe me, there's nothing more I can do. He bowed his head. I'll take my leave now. He practically fled the room. As the door clicked shut behind him, he leaned against the wall outside, clutching his chest. His heart was pounding so hard he thought it might break through his ribs. He took a few deep, ragged breaths before finally heading back to his desk. I sat in my office, fuming. A chicken coop? What on earth did a chicken coop look like? I had to know. I opened my laptop and typed the words into the search bar. The screen filled with images of ramshackle wooden boxes, wire cages, and misshapen, lopsided structures. Some were square, some were round, some were just blobs. They were, without exception, hideous, utterly, offensively ugly. How dare he compare my beautiful designer dress to that? The anger burned hot and bright. I didn't care if he was helping a friend. I didn't care if he was just saying what came to mind. He had insulted me, and he was going to pay. I picked up my phone and called Mr. Henderson, the sales manager. Henderson, my office. Now, a few minutes later, he was sitting opposite me. Director, is there a problem? Tell me about Liam Evans. Ah, yes. The new guy. He's been with us for 2 months. Already closed a couple of deals. He's a hard worker. Got a real talent for this business. Really. The name sounds familiar. Well, of course it does, Director. You're the one who recommended him. HR told me he was your guy. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Liam Evans, Chloe's brother. Of course. Liam. Chloe. Why hadn't I put it together sooner? My anger flared even hotter. It didn't matter if he was my best friend's brother. It didn't matter. The chicken coop incident was unforgivable. Henderson, I said, a slow, cruel smile spreading across my face. I need an assistant. I haven't had time to hire one yet. I want you to transfer him to my office. Effective immediately. Mr. Henderson looked surprised. You want Liam as your assistant, director? Is there a problem? No, it's just... I thought you said you wanted a female assistant. I changed my mind. He's practically family, isn't he? It makes perfect sense. He'll be a great help to me. Well, yes, director. You're right. I'll arrange it right away. Good. He left, and I leaned back in my chair, the smile turning into a grin. Oh, Liam Evans, I thought. You have no idea what's coming for you. Down in the sales department, Mr. Henderson broke the news. Liam, I've got great news. Do you want a promotion and a raise? Liam looked up, confused. You're joking, right? Not at all. Here's the official transfer order from the company. Liam's eyes scanned the paper, and his face went pale. But I'm a new employee. How could I get a promotion so soon? Starting this afternoon, you'll be working in the director's office. You're her new personal assistant. If anything changes, I'll let you know. A buzz went through the office. His coworkers crowded around, congratulating him. Their faces a mixture of envy and admiration. Wow, Liam, the director's personal assistant. That's a cushy gig. The pay is amazing, and you get to travel with the boss. You're so lucky. But Liam wasn't listening. He felt a cold dread settle in the pit of his stomach. This wasn't a promotion. This was a death sentence. Mr. Henderson, he pleaded, his voice low. I don't have the skills for that. I can't be her assistant. Can't you just let someone else do it? Are you crazy? People would kill for this opportunity. It's an easy job, and the pay is 3 times what you're making here. Now, hand over your current projects and get up there. I don't want a higher salary, he whispered desperately. I just want to keep my life. If I go up there, she's going to destroy me. What are you talking about? I don't understand. It's a long story, sir. Please, just let me stay here. No can do. It's a direct order from the director. Now, transfer your work to Todd and get moving. And don't argue with me, or we'll both be in trouble. His coworkers clapped him on the back, offering congratulations. But all Liam could feel was the cold grip of doom. I sat in my office, waiting. I imagined him running my errands, fetching my coffee, being at my beck and call. The thought made me smile. You called my dress a chicken coop? You said my face was a dinner roll. Oh, you just wait. But the afternoon wore on, and he didn't appear. My smile faded, replaced by a frown. Where was he? Was he defying my order? Was he hiding? Fine. If he wouldn't come to me, I would go to him. Liam had finished transferring his projects to his coworker, but he was stalling, lingering in the department, trying to delay the inevitable. Sir, he said to Mr. Henderson one last time, maybe I could just quit. What is wrong with you? The director is beautiful, she's kind. You're acting like she's some kind of monster. Now go. You'll be happy you did. But I have a bad feeling about this, sir. A bad feeling about what? Go. Liam trudged towards the door, his shoulders slumped in defeat. Just as he reached it, I pushed it open from the other side. Our eyes met. He yelped and immediately scrambled backwards, diving behind Mr. Henderson's desk like a frightened child. Mr. Henderson stared at him, dumbfounded. "What on earth are you doing now?" "If she asks," Liam whispered frantically from behind the desk, "just tell her I already left. Please, sir, I'm begging you." "Is everything ready, Henderson?" I asked, my voice cold as I stepped into the room. "Yes, Director, all finished." "Then where is he? Why hasn't he come to my office yet?" "Well, he's being a little hesitant. I don't know what's wrong with him. He seems scared of you." "Scared? And where is he now?" Mr. Henderson, with no loyalty to his terrified subordinate, pointed a thumb over his shoulder. "He's right there, hiding behind my desk." Liam slowly, painfully, emerged from his hiding spot, scratching his head and avoiding my gaze. "Sir," he muttered to his manager, "why did you rat me out? I asked you not to say anything." "Oh, right," Henderson said, feigning forgetfulness. "I'm a terrible liar. Now, go to the director's office, and don't make me drag you there myself." I fixed Liam with a glare that could freeze fire. "Are you defying a direct order from the company?" "No, of course not, Director." "Then, why were you hiding?" "I wasn't hiding." "Then let's go. Now." "So, from now on, I'm your assistant. Is that right, Director?" he asked, forcing a cheerful tone. It's a great honor. A really, really great honor." "Good." He followed me back to my office, the proverbial lamb to the slaughter. I pointed to a small desk in the corner. "That's your new workspace. All of your duties are outlined in the file on the computer. I suggest you familiarize yourself with them. In addition to those tasks, there will be other duties. I'll let you know what they are as they arise." I understand." He sat down, and I could feel the tension radiating off him. He was like a coiled spring, a man sitting in an electric chair waiting for the switch to be thrown. He kept stealing nervous glances at me. I could see the sweat beading on his forehead, even though the air conditioning was blasting. I let him stew for a while. Then, I decided it was time to begin. "Liam." He jumped, startled. "Yes, Director. I've been thinking, and I still can't get it out of my head. My dress, the chicken coop. I need you to explain it to me, in detail. What part of my dress looked like a chicken coop?" He groaned, a pained expression on his face. "Director, are we still on this?" "We are. Please, Director, I'm begging you. Let it go. I know I was wrong. I was so wrong. I'll buy you dinner to apologize. A really nice dinner. You think one dinner can erase the humiliation? 2 dinners? How about 20? 20, he squeaked. "And that's not all. From this moment on, whenever I call you, you will come, immediately. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. Do you understand, Mr. Assistant? Day or night, that's what I said. If you agree to these terms, perhaps I can find it in my heart to forgive you, and we will never speak of the chicken coop again. What do you say?" He looked at me, his eyes filled with a desperate hope. "You'll really let it go? You won't bring it up again? If you serve your sentence well, I will consider your debt paid." "I agree," he said, relief washing over his face. "I'll do anything. Just please, no more chicken coops. I'm having nightmares about them." I smirked, a cruel, triumphant little smile. "Excellent. Oh, you poor, naive man," I thought. The nightmares are just beginning. My reign of terror began the very next day. It was 7 o'clock in the evening. Liam was at home, sitting at the small kitchen table with Chloe, finally about to eat dinner after a long day. My call came just as he was lifting the first forkful of rice to his mouth. He saw my name, which he had saved in his phone as Director Chicken Coop, flash on the screen and sighed. Chloe, not wanting to know the details of his work drama, gave him his privacy, and he stepped outside to take the call. "Hello, Director. You called? I need you to buy me some barbecue ribs and bring them to my house." My voice was clipped and imperious. "I'll text you the address of the restaurant, and be quick about it. I haven't had dinner yet, but I'm eating dinner right now. Can I bring them in a little while?" "No, now." I hung up before he could protest further. He went back inside, his dinner untouched. Chloe looked up from her plate. "Liam, where are you going? You haven't even finished your food." "I have to go out. Something came up at work." "What's so urgent?" "It's nothing. Just a work thing." He grabbed his keys and rushed out, leaving his sister confused and his dinner getting cold. He drove his old scooter across town, picked up the ridiculously expensive ribs, and navigated to my family's palatial estate. I met him at the grand front gate, taking the warm container from his hands with a satisfied smirk. "Thank you, Liam." He was about to turn and leave, but I stopped him. "Oh, I almost forgot. I'll need a coffee to go with this. I have to work late tonight." He stared at me, his face a mask of weary frustration. "Director, why didn't you tell me that before? I could have picked it up on the way. Did I forget? My mistake. Are you going to get it or not?" "Yes," he sighed, the fight already gone out of him. "Yes, Director, I'll go now." And so it went. Every day was a new form of petty torture. In the mornings, he had to clean my office and make my coffee before starting his actual work. During the day, I'd send him on absurd errands under the scorching sun, buying me snacks, picking up my dry cleaning, even running to the pharmacy for my personal items. After work, my calls would inevitably come, summoning him for some trivial task designed purely to inconvenience him. I took a perverse pleasure in watching him run around, frazzled and exhausted. One evening, Liam was having dinner with Julian. He looked utterly miserable. "What's with you?" Julian asked. "Did you get dumped or something?" Liam scowled. "Getting dumped would be a vacation compared to what I'm going through now. And it's all your fault. If I hadn't gone on that stupid date for you, my life wouldn't be a living hell right now." "What are you talking about?" "Mia found out. She knows I was the one at the cafe. And now she's torturing me. She made me her personal assistant, and she's running me ragged. I'm so tired, man. So damn tired." Julian's eyes widened. "She's what? She's your boss, and she's making your life miserable?" "Dude, that's awesome. Isn't that what you wanted? You told me you liked her the moment you saw her. Now, you get to be around her all the time. You should be thrilled." "Thrilled? Are you insane?" Liam snapped. "Do you have any idea what this is like?" He stabbed a piece of steak with his fork, about to vent his frustrations in detail, when his phone rang. He glanced at the screen. Director Chicken Coop. He threw his fork down with a clatter. "See? This is my life now. I can't even get through a single meal in peace." He answered the phone, his voice dripping with forced politeness. "Hello? Yes, I'll be right there. I'm on my way." He hung up and stood, grabbing his jacket. Julian looked at the table laden with food. "Where are you going? We haven't even eaten yet." Liam glared at him, his eyes burning with a deep, personal hatred. "Eat it yourself, you bastard. I hate you." He stormed out of the restaurant, leaving Julian alone with a massive bill and a very confused look on his face. "What's his problem?" Julian muttered to himself. "I was waiting for him at my gate." He pulled up on his scooter 10 minutes later, his face set in a look of grim resignation. "What can I do for you, Director?" "I want to eat. Take me to get some grilled chicken." He shoved his hands in his pockets, a flicker of panic in his eyes. He only had about $50 in his wallet, He knew my tastes were expensive. Can we eat something else? He asked hesitantly. Like what? Maybe some hot pot or something simpler. No, I said, my tone leaving no room for argument. I want grilled chicken. You did promise me 20 dinners, did you not? Are you trying to back out of our deal? I didn't wait for an answer, simply walked over to his scooter and sat on the back. Let's go. I'm hungry. He had no choice. He started the engine and drove, a feeling of deep unease settling over him. At the restaurant, I ordered with abandon, picking some of the most expensive items on the menu. Liam sat there, silently calculating the mounting cost, his face growing paler with each dish that arrived. He subtly pulled out his phone and sent a desperate text to Julian. Hey man, can you transfer me $500? Emergency. Julian, ever the generous friend when it came to money, sent it immediately. No questions asked. Liam felt a wave of relief, but it was short-lived. Not only did he have to pay for my extravagant meal, but he also had to sit there and grill the meat for me, acting as my personal chef and waiter. This was his life now. My servant, my chauffeur, my personal bank, all because of a few careless words. It was after 10 when he finally dropped me home. When he got back to his apartment, he found Julian and Chloe sitting on the couch, finishing off the leftovers from the restaurant he'd abandoned earlier. You're back, Chloe said. Where did you go in such a hurry? Liam glanced at his sister, not wanting her to know the truth. He just mumbled something about work and headed to his room to shower. After he was gone, Chloe turned to Julian. What's going on with him? He's been acting so strangely lately. Julian, feeling a pang of guilt, decided to tell her everything. He explained the whole sordid story, his love for her, the arranged date with me, and how he'd convinced Liam to go in his place. He told her about the insults, the dinner roll, and chicken coop comments. Chloe's jaw dropped. So that's why Mia was so upset that night. She was crying, and she dragged me out for drinks. And then you two showed up and ran away the second you saw her. You were scared she'd recognize you. Exactly, Julian admitted. And now she knows it was him, and she's getting her revenge. You have to talk to her, Chloe. Tell her to go easy on him. He's really suffering. Chloe's loyalty, however, was with her best friend. He deserves it. How could he say those things to her? She's beautiful. He needs to learn a lesson. Let Mia have her fun. It'll serve him right. But he's your brother, and she's my best friend. Sorry, Julian. You two made this mess. You can figure out how to get out of it. She then turned her attention to him. Her eyes narrowed. And you think you can just use my brother to get out of a date, and then show up here and act like you're in love with me? If you don't get your act together and start acting like a responsible adult, we will never be more than just friends. Got it? She got up and started clearing the table, leaving Julian looking crestfallen. He felt like he was being tortured just as much as Liam was. He even had to do the dishes before Chloe would let him go home. A month passed. A month of my relentless, petty revenge. But somewhere along the way, something started to shift. I was beginning to see a different side of Liam. He never complained. Not really. He did everything I asked, with a kind of quiet dignity that was starting to get under my skin. He was patient and kind and surprisingly thoughtful, and I had to admit, having him around wasn't so bad. In fact, I was starting to look forward to it. This morning, I came into the office to find a small box on my desk. It was a slice of durian crepe cake, my absolute favorite, from a small bakery I loved. I looked up as Liam came in with my morning coffee. Did you? He smiled, a genuine, warm smile that made my stomach do a little flip. I was at the supermarket yesterday and saw it. I remembered you liked it. Thank you, I said, my voice softer than I intended. I do. I love it. You're welcome. Here's your coffee. He turned to go back to his desk, and as he walked away, I found myself watching him. Really watching him. He was handsome. I'd always known that. But today, in the morning light, he looked different, better. He glanced back and caught me staring. His smile widened, and my heart gave a strange little thump. He quickly looked away, a faint blush on his cheeks, and I felt my own face grow warm. What was happening to me? Was I falling for my assistant? For the man who had insulted me so cruelly? No, impossible. The durian cake had softened me. That afternoon, feeling a pang of something that might have been guilt, I made an offer. Liam, I'm thinking of going over to your place for dinner tonight. He looked up from his computer, startled. What? To my apartment? For dinner? Yes. Is that a problem? I've had dinner with Chloe there before. It's a bit sudden. I'm afraid the food we have wouldn't be up to your standards. I'm easy to please, I said, a little hurt by his hesitation. And if you don't want to cook, we can order in. It's not that. I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe some other time. Are you afraid I'll eat all your food? I joked, trying to lighten the mood. No, of course not. It's just, Chloe might get the wrong idea. His excuse was flimsy, and we both knew it. Why don't you just go have dinner with her? I can go to Julian's. Fine, I snapped, my good mood evaporating. If you don't want me to come, just say so. I'll go home. That's probably for the best. He went back to his work, leaving me stewing in my seat. 1 minute he was bringing me cake. The next he was pushing me away. What was his problem? The truth was, he was pushing me away because he was starting to feel the exact same way I was. He was falling for me, and it terrified him. He knew the distance between our worlds was too vast. He was trying to protect himself, to keep a safe distance before he got in too deep. But it was already too late, for both of us. That evening, I was lying on the couch at home, sulking, when my mother found me. What's wrong, darling? You look upset. Nothing. It's not nothing. Tell me. It's nothing, Mom. Just leave me alone. Mia, she said, her voice changing, becoming more serious. Listen, this weekend, I need you to go on another blind date. I shot up from the couch. We had been through this. I told you, Mom, no more matchmaking. After that last disaster, I'm done. Don't worry, she said soothingly. I've met this one in person. He's perfectly normal, I assure you. Handsome, from a wonderful family. It's a perfect match. I don't care. I'm not going. I can find my own boyfriend. Thank you very much. No, you can't just cancel. I've already agreed. Just go. For me. Please. Here. Look. This is his picture. She tried to show me a photo on her phone, but I slapped it away, sending it clattering onto the floor. I said no. Don't you ever listen to me. Stop trying to control my life. Her face hardened. Mia, how dare you speak to me that way? I am your mother. I only want what's best for you. Now, you will listen to me. You will go on this date. If you like him, great. If you don't, you can walk away. No one is forcing you into anything, but you will go. Her voice was insistent, unrelenting. I was tired and sad, and I didn't have the energy to fight anymore. Fine, I mumbled, the word tasting like defeat. Fine, I'll go. Just, please, stop talking. My head hurts, she smiled, her victory secured. That's my good girl. I trudged up to my room, feeling miserable. The thought of another blind date filled me with dread. The office felt empty the next day. Liam had called in sick. I wondered if he was okay. I sent him a text, but he didn't reply. I tried calling Chloe. Hey, is your brother okay? He didn't come in today. Oh, we're about to head back to our hometown for a memorial service. I told you about it last week, remember? Oh, right. I forgot. Are you taking a taxi? No, we're taking his scooter. Have you left yet? Not yet. He's out buying some things. We'll probably leave in a little while. Okay. Travel safe. I hung up, but I couldn't focus on my work. An idea, a crazy, impulsive idea, started to form in my mind. The workload was light this week. I could take a day off. I could go with them. I could see their hometown, meet their family. I could spend time with him, away from the office, away from everything. I stood up, my decision made. I grabbed my purse and walked out of the office. When I pulled up to their apartment building, I saw a sleek, black luxury car parked out front. It was the kind of car you only see in movies. A car that costs more than most people's houses. And standing next to it, talking, were Liam and Julian Vance, the real one, the one from the photos. They both looked up as I approached, their eyes wide with shock. Director, Liam stammered. What? What are you doing here? I was in the neighborhood, I lied smoothly. Thought I'd stop by and see Chloe. Is she home? Yeah. She's inside. Great. I'll just go in and say hi. I breezed past them into the building, leaving them standing on the sidewalk, utterly bewildered. Julian turned to Liam. Mia Sterling. She's perfect. If you like her, you need to go for it, man. Don't be ridiculous. Don't lie to yourself. I can see it in your eyes every time you look at her. Don't be a coward. You'll regret it if you let her slip away. Just go home, Julian. Home? I'm not going home. I'm going to your hometown with Chloe to meet her parents. Who said you could come? I'm coming with Chloe to visit her parents. It has nothing to do with you. He smirked. And I have a feeling your boss is going to want to come along too. Mia? No way. Why would she come with us? Think about it. Why else would she show up here, unannounced? Mark my words. I'll bet you she doesn't. You're on. I found Chloe in her room, packing a small overnight bag. Mia, what are you doing here? I was free, I said, trying to sound casual. No work to do. So I thought I'd come hang out. You, free. I thought you were always busy. Not anymore. I'm much more relaxed these days. I paused, then added pointedly, very, very free. I was hoping she'd take the hint. I was practically waving a giant flag that said, "Invite me to your hometown." But Chloe, bless her heart, was completely oblivious. She didn't pick up on my subtle, or not so subtle, cues at all. I tried a different tactic, letting out a dramatic sigh. I'm so bored. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. You're bored? She said, finally looking up from her packing. Why don't you take a trip? Go somewhere nice. I wanted to scream. I want to go with you. Instead, I put on my best pensive expression. You know, I've done the whole luxury travel thing. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm looking for something quieter, more peaceful. I'm sick of the noisy, crowded city. A light bulb finally went on over Chloe's head. Hey, why don't you come home with us? Julian's coming too. My hometown is super peaceful. It's perfect. It took every ounce of self-control I had not to jump up and down and cheer. I feigned thoughtful consideration. Go to your hometown? With you. Yeah. Just for 2 days. It'll be fun. Well, okay. I guess that could be nice. Great. Should we go now? Or do you need to go home and get some clothes? Oh, no need. I can borrow some of yours. Let's just go. Chloe finished her packing and we headed outside. When Liam saw me get into Julian's car, he stopped short. "Mia's coming with us?" he asked Chloe, his voice a mixture of disbelief and something else I couldn't quite decipher. "Yeah, she is." Liam's face fell. Julian clapped him on the shoulder, a triumphant grin on his face. "You lose the bet," he whispered. Liam just shook his head and got into the driver's seat, his expression unreadable. The car ride was interesting. Julian and Chloe sat in the back, bickering like an old married couple for the entire 2-hour drive. "You know, when we get there, I'm going to ask your parents for their permission to officially date you," Julian declared. Chloe scoffed. "Are you crazy? Who said I wanted to date you?" "You did. You said if I was hardworking and a decent human being, you'd be my girlfriend. You even kissed me on the cheek." "I never said that. And don't you dare lie. You're making things up." "I'm not lying. You said it. You're just trying to back out of it." "Fine. I've changed my mind. We're just comrades. Nothing more. Comrades." "But you said you liked me." "Liking is different from loving. And besides," she added, delivering the final blow, "my parents told me I can't get married until Liam does. So, you'll just have to wait." Julian leaned forward, tapping Liam on the shoulder. "Did you hear that, man? You need to get married, so Chloe and I can finally be together." Liam, who had been silent the entire drive, finally spoke, his eyes fixed on the road. "I don't even have a girlfriend. How am I supposed to get married? You've got a beautiful, single woman sitting right next to you," Julian stage whispered, loud enough for the whole car to hear. I looked out the window, a small smile playing on my lips. Liam's ears turned bright red. "Stop talking nonsense," he mumbled. "Mia is my boss, so what? The important thing is whether you like each other. Am I right, Director Mia?" I didn't answer, but my heart was beating a little faster. The air in the car suddenly felt thick with unspoken things. For the rest of the drive, a comfortable, hopeful silence settled over us. I found myself feeling nervous, excited. It felt like I was going to meet my boyfriend's parents for the first time. The weekend was a blur of family, food, and the slow, easy rhythm of country life. The first day was the memorial service, a somber but beautiful affair. The second day, we explored the small town. In the evening, the 4 of us went to a local spot for grilled chicken feet and beer. "This local rice wine is strong," Liam warned as Julian ordered a bottle. "Then we'll just share 1 bottle between the 4 of us," Julian said. "You can't have all this delicious grilled food without a little something to drink." "He's right," I chimed in. "Let's have some." The food was incredible, better than any fancy restaurant in the city, and cheaper, too. "You should marry a man from here and move to the countryside," Chloe teased me. "Life is so peaceful and happy here." Without thinking, the words slipped out of my mouth. "I'd love to." Julian kicked Liam under the table and gave him a look that clearly said, "This is your chance, you idiot. Take it." 1 bottle of the strong rice wine turned into 2. Soon, Chloe and I were giggling and tipsy, beyond the point where anyone could stop us. As we were laughing, 2 drunk men from the table next to us started to cause trouble. "Hey, you 2 hens over there, shut your clucking. You're giving me a headache." Chloe and I turned in unison. "What did you call us?" "You heard me. Hens. Now shut up before I tape your mouths shut." "You want to tape something?" Chloe shot back, standing up. "Come over here and try it." The 2 men, clearly not expecting a fight, stumbled over to our table. They were met with a chair to the head, followed by a flurry of punches and kicks. Chloe and I, fueled by rice, wine, and righteous indignation, fought like lionesses. Liam and Julian stared, completely dumbfounded. "Liam," Julian whispered, his eyes wide. "Am I seeing this right?" "You are." Back in school, Chloe was the toughest kid in the entire district. I'm suddenly very scared for my future." "You should be. If you ever cross her, she'll beat you to a pulp, and you're the one who pushed me to be with her. You've led me into a trap. We should probably break this up before it gets serious." They finally managed to pull us off the two men, who scrambled away, bruised and terrified. Julian paid the owner for the broken chair, and then he and Liam ended up carrying Chloe and me home on their backs. We walked along a quiet path on top of a dike, the cool night air filled with the sound of crickets. I slowly drifted back to consciousness, the world coming into focus. I was on Liam's back. The moon was full, casting a silver light over everything. "Am I on your back?" I murmured, my head still fuzzy. "You're awake," he said, his voice soft. "Are you tired?" "My head hurts." "That's the country wine. It's stronger than you're used to." "Where are Chloe and Julian?" "They're up ahead." You threw up on me a little while ago, so I stopped to let you rest." I was mortified. "I threw up on you?" "Just on my leg." "It's fine. I washed it off." "I'm so sorry. Put me down. I can walk by myself." "No, it's okay. I've got you. You're not heavy." Being carried by him under the vast, starry sky felt magical. His scent, the warmth of his back, the steady rhythm of his breathing. It was intoxicating. I knew in that moment that I was completely, irrevocably in love with him, and I couldn't keep it inside any longer. I had to tell him. This was the perfect moment, just the two of us. I took a deep breath. "Liam." "Yes?" Don't call me director anymore, please." "But you are only at work, not now. From now on, you can call me your love." He stopped walking for a beat, then continued on, his pace a little faster. "Liam," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "I like you." He stumbled, catching himself before he fell. His heart, I could feel it, started to hammer against his ribs. He wanted to say it back. He wanted to shout, "I like you too, Mia. Be my girlfriend." But then, reality came crashing back in. His poverty, his empty hands, his old scooter, and her world. Her money, her cars, her mansions, her powerful family. They would never accept him. He was nothing. He didn't deserve her, so he said nothing. He pretended he hadn't heard. "Liam?" I tried again, my voice a little louder. "Why aren't you answering me?" "What did you say?" I said. "I like you, Liam. Let's be together." There was no escaping it now. He had to say something. So he lied. I only see you as my boss, director, nothing more." The words hit me like a physical blow. You don't have any feelings for me? Not even a little? No. It was the first time I had ever confessed my feelings to anyone, and I had been rejected. Utterly, completely. The beautiful, magical moment shattered into a million tiny pieces. I felt a fool. I'm so embarrassed, I mumbled, trying to salvage what was left of my pride. I don't know why I said that. Just forget it. Let's just be friends, okay? But even that felt wrong. If we couldn't be together, we couldn't be friends. It would be too painful. "No," I said, my voice firm, despite the tears welling in my eyes. "If we can't be lovers, then we're nothing. From now on, you are my assistant, and I am your boss. That's it. Is that clear?" "Yes," he said, his own voice heavy with a sorrow he couldn't show. The rest of the walk was silent, a heavy, suffocating silence that was louder than any words. When we reached his house, he set me down, and without a word, I walked to the main road and called a taxi. I couldn't stay there another minute. Chloe was shocked when she came inside and I was gone. "Where's Mia? She had to go back to the city," he said, his voice flat. Something urgent came up. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. Julian, who was sharing a room with him, knew something was wrong. "What happened between you and Mia?" "Nothing." "Don't lie to me. You failed, didn't you? You confessed, and she rejected you." "No." "She confessed to me, and I rejected her." Julian sat bolt upright in bed. "What? You did what? Why?" "Because we're not a match, Julian. It would never work. I was afraid that if I let myself fall for her, I'd never be able to get out." "I am so done with you," Julian said, flopping back onto his pillow. "You finally find someone you love, who loves you back, and you throw it away. You're an idiot." He was right, and Liam knew it. He stared at the ceiling all night, the word idiot echoing in his head. After that disastrous weekend, I came to a painful realization. I was not cut out for love. It was a game I didn't know how to play, a language I didn't speak. From now on, I decided, I would focus on my work. That was something I could control, something that wouldn't break my heart. The atmosphere in the office became cold and professional. I only spoke to Liam about work-related matters. When there was nothing to discuss, I avoided him, creating a physical distance to match the emotional one he had imposed. On Monday morning, Liam was in the office before me. He was looking at my schedule on the shared calendar when a particular entry, marked in bright red, caught his eye. Saturday, 11 a.m., blind date. His stomach clenched. He had just rejected me, and now, just a few days later, I was already scheduled to meet someone else. A bitter, unfamiliar feeling washed over him. It was jealousy, sharp and hot. He didn't want me to go. He was so lost in his thoughts that he didn't hear me come in. "Liam, hand me that file," I said, my voice startling him. He was still staring at the calendar, a million thoughts racing through his mind. "Liam?" I said again, a little louder. He finally snapped out of it, turning to me with a jolt. "Director, what did you say?" "The file." On my desk, he handed it to me, his movements stiff. "Liam," I said, my voice softening slightly, "about what happened the other night. Don't worry about it. Just act normal. I've already moved on, and I hope you can too. Let's just go back to how things were before. Okay?" He just nodded, unable to speak, but he couldn't stop thinking about it. He couldn't stop thinking about me meeting someone else. He had pushed me away, and now he was paying the price. The week crawled by. On Saturday morning, Liam was a nervous wreck. He kept glancing at the clock, watching the minutes tick down to 11. He sat at his desk, muttering to himself, "Why is she so eager to go on this stupid date?" I was in my office, and I overheard him. "What was that? What did you just say?" He jumped, startled. "Nothing. I wasn't saying anything. I heard you. You said something about a blind date." "Oh," I said, feigning nonchalance. "That reminds me. I have that date today. What time is it?" 9 o'clock, he grumbled. "Oh my God, only 2 hours left. I haven't even gotten ready yet." "What's there to get ready for?" he said, his tone sour. "What do you mean?" "I have to do my makeup, pick out a nice outfit. I have to look my best." "You don't need to do any of that," he said, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "You're already beautiful. You don't need makeup." I raised an eyebrow. "Is that so?" "Yes," he insisted. "It's true." "Well, in that case, maybe I won't bother with makeup today." I paused, then added, You know, my mom told me the guy I'm meeting today really liked my picture. He said yes the moment he saw it. I have a feeling this date is going to be a huge success. Not like last time. Liam's face darkened. How can you be so sure? You haven't even met him. He's probably just lying. Why would you say that? Because people who are that agreeable, who say yes that easily, they're usually not genuine. You have to be careful. Oh, so you're saying I should be with someone who's difficult and disagreeable, like you? I challenged. He backpedaled, flustered. No, that's not what I meant. I want you to be careful. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Maybe I want to be taken advantage of, I said, enjoying the look of horror on his face. After 25 years, maybe it's time I tried it. I give up. You're impossible. Why do you care so much anyway? Are you worried about me? No, I'm just trying to be a good assistant. He stood up abruptly. I'll drive you to your date, and I'll wait outside for you. I can drive myself, thank you. And the last thing I need is you hovering around. It would be incredibly annoying. He looked genuinely hurt. He turned and walked out of the office. His shoulders slumped. I watched him go, a small, triumphant smile on my face. This was much more fun than I'd anticipated. He was clearly jealous. He liked me, and I was going to make him suffer for rejecting me. At 11 o'clock, I was ready to leave, but I couldn't find my car keys. Liam, have you seen my keys? No, Director. They were in my desk drawer. I just went to the restroom, and when I came back, they were gone. I don't know where they are. Well, now how am I supposed to get to my date? You can borrow my scooter, he offered, a little too eagerly. It's a classic model, very fast. A scooter? I'm going on a date with a millionaire. Liam, I can't show up on a scooter. Then, I guess you'll have to cancel. No, I'll take a taxi. I'll take you, he said quickly. It'll be faster. You'll be late if you wait for a taxi. He had a point. I didn't want to be late again. Fine, I sighed. You can take me. He brought his old, beat-up scooter around to the front of the building. He handed me a helmet. Here, put this on. I just spent an hour doing my hair. This is going to ruin it. It's the law. Put it on. I reluctantly put on the helmet and climbed on the back of the scooter. The journey was a masterclass in passive aggression. First, he stopped for gas, even though the tank was nearly full. Then, as we got close to the restaurant, he took a long, inexplicable detour, driving me in a huge circle around a nearby lake. I was sweating under the hot sun, my perfectly styled hair now a flat, helmet-shaped mess. Liam, the restaurant is that way. Where are you going? There's a police checkpoint up ahead, he lied smoothly. My scooter doesn't have the right papers. We have to go around. We've been driving for nearly an hour. I'm 45 minutes late. Can you please just hurry up? Don't worry, he said, a hint of a smirk in his voice. Just tell him that waiting is a part of happiness. He'll understand. He finally, after 3 full laps around the lake, pulled up to the restaurant. I was an hour and 15 minutes late, and to my surprise, the man was still there. You can go back to the office, I told Liam. I'll get a ride home. No, I'll wait here for you, I said. You can go. I'm going to be a while. Okay, he said, his face falling. I gave him one last glare before walking into the restaurant. The man, whose name was Nathan, stood up as I approached. He was handsome, charming, and impeccably dressed. Mia, you're here. Yes, I'm so sorry I'm late. The traffic was a nightmare. Don't worry about it, he said with a warm smile. Waiting is a part of happiness. I'm just glad you made it. What would you like to drink? He was a perfect gentleman. The conversation flowed easily. He was intelligent, funny, and he listened when I spoke. It was, in every way, the complete opposite of my disastrous date with Julian. But outside, Liam was falling apart. He had parked his scooter across the street and was trying to peek through the restaurant window. He saw me laughing at something Nathan said, and his brow furrowed. He saw Nathan push a piece of cake towards me, offering me a bite. That was the last straw. He kicked the glass door of the restaurant in a fit of jealous rage. The sound echoed through the quiet street. "Hey, you, what do you think you're doing?" A burly security guard came running out, pointing an angry finger at Liam. "Are you some kind of pervert? I've seen you, spying on my staff. Get out of here before I call the cops." Liam looked confused. He followed the guard's gaze and saw a young female waitress cleaning the floor just inside the door he had been peering through. He had been so focused on me that he hadn't even noticed her. "No, sir, you've got it all wrong. I'm not a pervert." "Then why are you staring at that girl?" "Huh?" The commotion drew our attention. I looked out the window and saw the security guard yelling at Liam. "What's going on out there?" Nathan asked. I think that's someone I know," I said, a feeling of dread washing over me. "Excuse me for a minute." I went outside. "What's happening? What's the problem?" "This man is your friend?" the security guard asked, his voice full of suspicion. "Yes." "What did he do?" "He's a pervert. He's been standing out here for an hour, spying on that waitress." Liam grabbed my arm, his eyes wide with panic. "That's not true. I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at you, Mia." "Why didn't you go back to the office?" I hissed. "Why are you standing out here spying on me and causing trouble?" "I didn't want to leave you." "Okay, look," I said, turning to the guard and flashing my most charming smile. "This is just a big misunderstanding. I'm so sorry for the disturbance." I slipped him $100 bill. He grumbled but eventually went back inside. I turned to Nathan. "I'm so sorry, but I have to go. Something's come up." "So soon?" "We were having such a nice time." "I know. I'll call you, I promise." I walked back to Liam, who was waiting by his scooter, looking like a scolded puppy. I got on the back, and we drove back to the office in a tense, angry silence. The next day, I didn't go to the office. I had a business trip that had been planned for weeks. Liam, not knowing this, arrived at work to find my office empty. He started to panic. He called Chloe. "Hey, do you know where Mia is?" "No. Why are you asking me? Just call her." I thought maybe she told you." "No. Why are you so worried about her?" Chloe's voice was teasing. "Maybe she went on a trip with her new boyfriend. She told me she really liked that Nathan guy." Liam's heart sank. She did. "Yep. Love at first sight," she said. "Why do you sound so upset? You're the one who rejected her. Remember?" He didn't answer, just hung up the phone. He felt sick. Chloe, feeling a little guilty for teasing him, texted me to find out where I was. Then she called him back. "Liam, I know where she is. She's at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. She's on a date with Nathan. She knew it was a lie, that I was there for a meeting, but she wanted to push him. She wanted him to fight for me." "Are you serious?" "Yes. I have the address. Do you want it?" He hesitated. "No. Why would I? It's none of my business." "Okay then. Just thought you should know. If you don't act fast, you're going to lose her for good." She hung up. A minute later, her phone buzzed with a text from him. "Send me the address." He drove to the hotel, his mind racing. He was consumed by a jealousy so intense it felt like a physical pain. He couldn't lose me. Not now. He had to tell me the truth. He found the restaurant in the hotel where Chloe had told him I would be. He strode in, ready to declare his love, ready to fight for me. Mia. I looked up from my table, surprised. I was sitting with a middle-aged woman, a client. Liam, what are you doing here? He froze, looking from me to the woman, his face a mask of confusion. I thought you were on a date. With Nathan. I sighed. This man was going to be the death of me. I'm in a business meeting, Liam. With Miss Chen. Miss Chen smiled kindly. Is this your assistant, Mia? I remember him from my visit to your office. She turned to Liam. Come, sit down. Join us for lunch. He sat, looking utterly relieved and foolish. After Miss Chen left, he turned to me, his face serious. He had been drinking, and the alcohol had given him the courage he'd been lacking. The truth is, he began, his voice low and intense, I like you, Mia, a lot. When you told me how you felt, I was the happiest man in the world. But I rejected you because I felt like I didn't deserve you. I have nothing, and you have everything. I was afraid. He looked me in the eye, his gaze unwavering. But seeing you with Nathan, even the thought of it was killing me. I can't stand it. Mia, I love you. Will you be my girlfriend? Before I could answer, he leaned across the table and kissed me. It was a soft, hesitant kiss, but it sent a jolt of electricity through my entire body. You just kissed me, I said, my voice breathless. Yes, kiss me again, I whispered. That one was too fast. I didn't have time to feel it. He smiled, a real, radiant smile. He stood up, came around the table, and pulled me to my feet. And then he kissed me again, a deep, passionate kiss that left no doubt in my mind. This was real. This was what I had been waiting for. I was finally, truly happy. But our happiness, I would soon find out, was to be short-lived. Our newfound love was a bubble of pure, intoxicating joy. We were inseparable. He drove me to work. He accompanied me to client meetings. He was my shadow and my partner. We ate lunch together, and after work, we'd explore the city. Two people discovering a world that was new to both of us. We were in our own perfect, private universe. But bubbles, by their very nature, are fragile, and ours was about to burst. The news of our relationship, inevitably, reached my parents. My father, ever the pragmatist, remained silent, observing. But my mother was a different story. I walked into the house one evening to find her waiting for me in the living room. Her posture was rigid, her face a mask of cold disapproval. Where have you been? She asked, her voice devoid of its usual warmth. Out with a friend, Mom. I started to head upstairs, but she stopped me. Stay, we need to talk. I knew, instantly, what this was about. I sat down on the couch opposite her, bracing myself. What's on your mind, Mom? This assistant of yours, Liam. What, exactly, is the nature of your relationship? There was no point in lying. He's my boyfriend, Mom. Boyfriend? The word came out like a curse. You expect me to be happy about this. That you, my daughter, are dating a nobody. A nobody. Mom, how can you say that? What else would you call him? He's a penniless boy from some forgotten town in the middle of nowhere. He has no money, no car, a rented apartment. His parents are farmers. Do you have any idea how that looks? The heiress of sterling holdings, dating the help. Do you have no regard for this family's reputation? I don't care about any of that. We're rich enough. I don't need a boyfriend who's also rich. All that matters is that he's a good person. It matters. It matters to me. Have you forgotten who you are? Have you forgotten who your father was when I married him? He was just like Liam. He had nothing. Nothing. Do you think it was easy for me? That was then. This is now. People are still people, Mom. Nothing has changed. Her voice rose, sharp and angry. Everything has changed. Why are you being so stubborn? Because I'm your daughter, I shot back, my own anger rising to meet hers. I got my stubbornness from you. Don't you dare use that tone with me. I knew this was a fight I couldn't win. Arguing with my mother was like arguing with a hurricane. I stood up and ran upstairs, leaving her fuming in the living room. The next morning, my mother took matters into her own hands. She showed up at the office before I did. Liam, who always arrived early, was startled to see her marching towards his desk. "Mrs. Sterling," he said, standing up respectfully. "We need to talk," she said, not bothering with pleasantries. "Meet me at the coffee shop across the street." Now, Liam had a sinking feeling he knew what this was about. He followed her across the street, and they sat at a small, secluded table. "You're dating my daughter," she began, her voice accusatory. He was flustered, but he met her gaze. "Yes, Mrs. Sterling. How old are you?" 28, ma'am." 28. "And what have you accomplished? What do you have to your name?" I don't have much right now, ma'am," he admitted, his voice quiet but firm. "But I can promise you that in the future, I will never let Mia down." "The future? You're 28 and you have nothing. When exactly is this future you speak of? When you're old and gray? Or after you've married my daughter and cashed in on her fortune? I understand your concerns, ma'am. But please, just give me a chance. No, I want to see what you have now, not what you might have someday. All you have is your sincere love. Is that it? You truly love my daughter with all your heart?" "Yes, more than anything. Don't you feel the pressure? Being with her, don't you feel inadequate?" "Yes," he admitted honestly. "I did. For a long time, I was too scared to even tell her how I felt. But our love for each other helps me overcome that." My mother sighed, her expression unyielding. "It doesn't matter. I will never allow my daughter to marry you. Our families are from two different worlds. It's not a suitable match. Do you understand? Please, ma'am, just give me a chance. I promise I'll succeed." "Why are you so persistent? You are dirt poor. If you marry my daughter, don't you think people will laugh at you? They'll say you're a gold digger, a parasite." She continued her tirade, her words growing sharper, more insulting. Liam sat there and took it, his face a mask of quiet humiliation. Finally, she delivered her ultimatum. He was to quit his job and disappear from my life, immediately. When I arrived at the office, I found Liam sitting at his desk, staring into space, a deep sadness in his eyes. "Liam, is something wrong?" He looked up, startled, and forced a smile. "No, nothing's wrong. You're here. Okay. Well, I need you to look over this file and sign it. I have to send it out." "Of course." "Hey," I said, trying to lift his spirits. "I just heard about a new grilled chicken place that's supposed to be amazing. We should go tonight. We can invite Chloe and Julian." "Tonight?" he said, his voice distant. I'm busy tonight." "Okay. What about tomorrow?" "I don't know if I'll be free. I'll let you know." He was being evasive, distant. This wasn't the Liam I knew. I walked over to his desk, my brow furrowed with concern. "Is something on your mind? You can tell me, you know." "It's nothing. I'm just a little tired." "Tired? Are you sick? Let me take you to the doctor." "No, I'm fine. I think I'm going to go home early today." "Okay. Let me drive you." "No, I can get home by myself. You have a lot of work to do. Just finish your work." He stood up and walked out without another word, leaving me standing there, completely bewildered. What had happened? What had changed? As he was leaving the building, his phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. The text read, "Your sister works at a bank owned by a friend of mine. If you don't do as I say, her career will be over. Remember your place. Don't try to climb a tree you don't belong in." He knew instantly who it was from. He sighed, a heavy, weary sound. Being poor, he thought, was a crime. Her words from the coffee shop echoed in his head, each one a fresh sting of humiliation. He loved me so much he didn't want to let go. But his sister, his family, he couldn't let them suffer because of him. He was trapped. For the next week, my mother was relentless. She called him every day, harassing him, threatening him. She told him that as long as she was alive, he would never know a moment's peace. He was to quit his job, leave the city, and never see me again. The pressure was too much. He couldn't take it anymore. He packed a bag, told HR he was taking an indefinite leave of absence, and went back to his hometown. He didn't tell me. He didn't say goodbye. He just vanished. I was frantic. He wasn't at work. His phone went straight to voicemail. I called Chloe. "Have you seen Liam? He didn't come to work, and I can't reach him." "Oh, he went back home for a bit. Some family business." I hung up, my heart pounding with a mixture of anger and worry. He went home without telling me. I grabbed my car keys and drove. I drove for 2 hours, my mind racing, a terrible feeling growing in the pit of my stomach. I found him in the yard of his parents' house, cleaning his scooter. "Liam," I said, my voice shaking with emotion. "You came home. Why didn't you tell me? I've been calling you all day. Do you have any idea how worried I was?" He looked up, his face a mask of indifference. "I got tired of the city. I think I'm going to stay here for a while. Raise some fish, plant a garden." "What are you talking about? What happened?" "Nothing happened. I just realized that life in the city is too suffocating. I needed a break." "But you didn't even talk to me about it." "I'm your girlfriend." His voice, when he finally spoke, was cold and distant. "This past month, it was just an experiment for me. I wanted to see what it was like to date a rich girl. Honestly, it wasn't that great. I'm bored. My feelings for you have faded. I think we should take a break." I stared at him, my mind unable to process his words. "An experiment? That's all this was to you?" "Yes." "You're lying," I said, my voice trembling. "It was my mother, wasn't it? She forced you to leave me." "No, this has nothing to do with your mother. My feelings just weren't strong enough." I took a deep breath, my heart aching. "I know my mother. I know how she is. She met with you, didn't she? She insulted you. She threatened you. She called you every day and forced you to leave. Am I wrong?" He didn't answer, but his silence was all the confirmation I needed. "I am her daughter. I know everything she does. Liam, I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you want to marry me?" He hesitated, a war of emotions playing across his face. "Yes," he finally whispered. "But your family, they'll never accept me." "Listen to me carefully," I said, my voice firm. "Let's say, hypothetically, that I had nothing. No money, no company, no family. Would you still want to marry me?" "Yes," he said without hesitation. "I love you for you, not for your money. You know that. Then you have to promise me something. Promise me that no matter what happens, even if I lose everything, you will never leave my side." "I promise," he said, his eyes locking with mine. "I love you. All I need is you." We stood there, in the quiet country yard, and made a pact. We would be together, no matter what. After a few more minutes, I told him I had a plan. "Wait for me," I said. "I have to go talk to my mother." I'll call you in 2 days. I drove back to the city, my mind clear, my resolve hardened. I walked into my house and found my mother in the living room. Mom, we need to talk. What is it? Mom, I'm begging you. Please, just let me and Liam be together. So, he told you, she muttered. That boy has no respect. I know you just want what's best for me, and I'm grateful for that. But this is my life, my choice. Please, let me make it. But she was immovable. She refused to listen. She refused to budge. The conversation quickly devolved into a shouting match, our voices echoing through the grand, empty house. I will never, ever accept him, she yelled. Then I'll be with him anyway. I'll defy you. Her face contorted with rage. Fine. You want to be with him? Then go. But you'll go with nothing. Leave the car, the credit cards, the jewelry, everything. Go to him with nothing but the clothes on your back. Let's see how long he stays with you then, when you have nothing to offer him. You think he'll leave me? Of course he will. When you have no money, no one will want you. Don't be so naive, Mia. An idea, a wild, desperate, and brilliant idea, sparked in my mind. Let's make a bet, Mom. A bet? Yes. You and me. Give me 1 year. For 1 year, I'll live with nothing. And if, at the end of that year, Liam is still by my side, you have to accept him. You have to welcome him as your son-in-law. Do we have a deal? She looked at me, a confident, cruel smile on her face. Deal. He'll never last. You'll come crawling back in a month. So, I did it. I walked out of that house with nothing but a small bag of clothes and the $10,000 in cash I had in my wallet. I gave my mother my car keys, my credit cards, my designer handbags. I walked away from my life of privilege, all for a bet on love. To make the story convincing, my parents even issued a public statement. They told the press, their friends, our entire extended family, that they had disowned me. The story was everywhere. Heiress to Sterling Holdings, Empire walks away from fortune for love. My phone blew up. My friends, my relatives, everyone was calling, shocked, confused. I told them all the same thing. It was true. I had given it all up, and just like that, I was poor. No house, no car, no job, just $10,000 to my name. But I wasn't scared. I was free, and I was about to find out if the man I loved me enough to catch me. The first thing I discovered about being poor was that my so-called friends were nowhere to be found. The same people who had flocked to my parties and begged for invitations to my family's summer home suddenly didn't answer my calls. One claimed she was traveling abroad indefinitely. Another was just so busy she couldn't possibly find time to meet. They vanished like smoke, proving what I had long suspected. Their friendship was transactional, and my social currency had just plummeted to zero. The only person who didn't abandon me was Chloe. She was horrified, worried, and endlessly supportive. She even broke her piggy bank and tried to press a wad of cash into my hand. "Here," she said, her eyes filled with genuine concern. "Take this. You'll need it to get by." I was touched, but I pushed her hand away gently. "I can't take your money, Chloe. I still have $10,000. I'll be fine. But what will you do? Where will you live?" I'm going to Liam's for a few days to figure things out." "Okay," she said, pulling me into a hug. "Just stay here with me if you need to. My apartment is small, but we can make it work." "Thank you, Chloe, for everything." "Don't be silly," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I'm your friend because of who you are, not what you have. Don't you ever forget that." I took a bus to the countryside, a stark contrast to the chauffeured cars I was used to. When I arrived at Liam's house, he had just seen the news online. He looked at me, his face a mixture of shock, horror, and something else. "Ah, Mia, this article. Is it true?" "Yes," I said, trying to sound more confident than I felt. "You really did it? You gave everything up?" "Well, I still have $10,000, I clarified. "Oh my God, Mia, this is a huge mistake. You have to go back. You can't just throw away your family like this. They were the ones who threw me away, Liam. It doesn't matter. She's still your mother. You have to go back and apologize." "No, I'm staying here, with you." "You can't stay here. People will talk. They'll say you ran away from home to be with a boy." "Let them talk. I don't care." I pushed past him and walked into the house, where his parents were sitting in the living room. They looked up, surprised to see me. "Hello," I said, my voice trembling slightly. I walked over to his mother, a kind-faced woman with warm, gentle eyes, and my carefully constructed composure crumbled. I burst into tears and threw my arms around her. "I'm so sorry to intrude. My parents, they disowned me." She held me, stroking my hair, her touch surprisingly comforting. "Oh, you poor child. What happened? Tell me everything." Between sobs, I explained the whole story. As I was talking, Liam came inside. "Mia, you have to go home," he insisted, trying to pull me away from his mother. "You can't stay here." "No," I cried, clinging to his mother like a lifeline. "I want to stay here. I have nowhere else to go. Go home and apologize to your parents. You can't just throw away your entire life for me. I'm throwing it away because I love you. I want to be with you. You can't. You have a family, a career. You can't give all that up." His mother finally intervened. "Liam, leave the girl alone. I said she can stay here. Now, stop trying to kick her out." "Mom, you don't understand. This is wrong. You should be encouraging her to go back to her family, not helping her run away. She just got here. Let her rest for a few days, and then we'll figure things out. Now, Mia, honey, you go take a shower. You can sleep with me tonight, and don't you worry about him. If he gives you any trouble, I'll deal with him." I shot Liam a triumphant look and went to the bathroom, leaving him to face his mother's wrath. "What is wrong with you?" she scolded him. "That poor girl has no one, and you're trying to throw her out on the street." "Mom, if she stays here, her reputation will be ruined." "So what? She'll be your wife soon enough. Her reputation will be just fine. Now, stop worrying and let her be." Later that evening, after I was asleep, Liam showed his mother the online articles. She was shocked. They really disowned her. "Just because of us? Because we're poor?" "Yes, Mom." She sighed, a sad, weary sound. "It's true. We are poor, but we are rich in love, son. Your mother, she needs to learn that. She threatened me, Mom. She told me she'd ruin Chloe's life if I didn't leave Mia. That woman. One day, I will meet her, and I will give her a piece of my mind. For now, we will take care of Mia. We will not let her suffer." "But Mom, she's used to a certain lifestyle. She won't be able to handle it here. It's too hard." "Then we will make it easier for her. We will love her. And you, son, you will work hard and provide for her. Don't you worry. Your mother has a plan." And so began my new life. It was an adjustment. The rooster crowing at 5 a.m. was my new alarm clock. The first morning, I woke up to find Liam's mother, Hoa, heading out to the fields with a hoe over her shoulder. "Where are you going so early?" I asked, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. "To the fields, child. I've made breakfast. It's on the stove. Make sure you and Liam eat. Wait, let me come with you. No, you stay here. The sun will be too hot for you. You just rest. But I want to learn. I want to help. There's no need for you to work in the fields. We're going to build a new house for you and Liam. On the main road. You can open a small shop or something. You won't have to do this kind of work. I was stunned. You're building us a house. Of course. When you get married, you need your own space. We've already sold a piece of land to pay for it. The most important thing is that you and Liam are happy together. Tears welled in my eyes. This woman, who had nothing, was willing to give me everything. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Don't thank me, child. Just be happy. She smiled, a warm, genuine smile that reached her eyes. You know, I think in a little while, you should go talk to your parents. Time heals all wounds. They'll come around. No, I said, my voice hard. I'm not going back. Not after what she did. You can't be angry at your mother forever, Mia. She's still your mother. But I was stubborn. I was determined to prove her wrong. I was going to make this new life work. The first month was a comedy of errors. I had never cooked a meal in my life. The first time I tried to make rice, I forgot to turn on the rice cooker. The next time, it came out a soupy, mushy mess. I burned everything. I set off the smoke alarm. The kitchen was a disaster zone. But Liam's parents were endlessly patient. They never criticized me. They just gently showed me what to do, over and over again, until I finally got it right. By the end of the month, I could cook a decent meal. I learned to clean, to bargain at the local market, to live a life that was simpler, harder, but in many ways, more real than anything I had ever known. One night, after dinner, Liam came into my room. He handed me a small envelope. What's this? It's my salary, he said, a proud smile on his face. I got a new job in town. You're giving this to me? Why don't you give it to your mom? I tried. She wouldn't take it. She said from now on, I give my salary to my wife, and you're going to be my wife. So, it's yours. I looked at the money in the envelope. It wasn't much, not by my old standards, but it was the most precious thing anyone had ever given me. Now, he said, wrapping his arms around me from behind, give your hard-working husband a hug. I've missed you all day. I leaned back into his embrace, a feeling of pure, unadulterated happiness washing over me. This was it. This was real. This was home. 3 months passed. 3 months of peaceful, simple happiness. Back in the city, my mother was not happy. She sat in the cavernous living room of our empty mansion, the silence deafening. It's been 3 months, she said to my father one evening. 3 months, and she hasn't called once. That stubborn, foolish girl. She gets it from you, my father said, not looking up from his newspaper. I'm worried about her. What if she never comes back? Then maybe you should call her. This test of yours has gone on long enough. No, she said, her pride winning out. She said a year. We will wait a year. If that boy is still with her then we will accept him. Just then, the private investigator she had hired to watch me came in to give his weekly report. How is she? My mother asked, her voice laced with anxiety. She's fine, ma'am. She's healthy. She seems happy. And that family, are they treating her well? Very well, ma'am. Mr. Kai and Mrs. Hoa are very kind to her. They don't let her do any hard labor. She just cooks and cleans. And I heard from the neighbors that they've sold a piece of their land. They're building a new house for Miss Mia and her boyfriend. My mother's face went pale. They're what? My father lowered his newspaper, a grim look on his face. "I told you," he said to my mother. "I have a feeling you're about to lose our daughter for good." You push her away. They welcome her with open arms. They're even building her a house. You need to bring her home. Now, that night, my mother couldn't sleep. The thought of losing me, of being replaced by this poor but loving family, terrified her. Meanwhile, a new threat was emerging, one we were completely unaware of. My uncle, my father's younger brother, son, and his ambitious son, Quackman, were making their move. Quackman had recently started working at Sterling Holdings, and he had his sights set on my old job, the CEO position. "So, it's true?" Quackman asked his father one evening. "Mia really left?" "Yes. Been gone for 3 months. So, her position is open. Your uncle is keeping it for her. He thinks she'll be back. The fool." "Well, Dad, you need to find a way to get me that job. It's not that easy. Your aunt, she still hates me for what I did 10 years ago. She'll never agree. Then I'll find a way myself. I'll get close to Uncle Thin. I'll make him trust me. He doesn't have a son, right? I'll be the son he never had. And then he'll give me everything." And so, Quackman began his insidious campaign. He became my father's shadow, always there, always helpful, always eager to please. He was smart, he was charming, and my father, who had always longed for a son, was quickly won over. But Quackman's ambition was a dark, dangerous thing, and he was about to set a trap that would change all of our lives forever. Quackman's plan was as simple as it was diabolical. He knew my father's weaknesses, his pride, his trust in family, and his fondness for a good time. Man quickly made himself indispensable, not just at the office, but in my father's social life as well. He arranged dinners with clients, booked karaoke lounges, and always made sure the prettiest hostesses were assigned to my father's table. One night, after a particularly successful deal, Man took my father and the clients out to celebrate. He hired a young, beautiful girl named Lynn, instructing her to pay special attention to my father, to ply him with drinks, to laugh at his jokes. My father, drunk on success and expensive whiskey, didn't suspect a thing. The next morning, he woke up in a strange hotel room, his head pounding, a naked young woman sleeping beside him. He was horrified. He had no memory of how he had gotten there. Lynn woke up and immediately began to cry, playing the part of the violated innocent perfectly. My father, consumed by guilt and shame, offered her a large sum of money to keep quiet. He didn't know that Man had orchestrated the entire thing, that a hidden camera had recorded everything. When Man picked him up from the hotel, my father was a wreck. I don't remember anything," he stammered. "You were very drunk last night, Uncle," Man said, his voice laced with false concern. "You insisted on going with her. I couldn't stop you. Please, Man, don't tell anyone about this, especially not your aunt." "Of course, Uncle. It's a man's thing. I understand." A month later, the second part of the trap was sprung. Lynn showed up at Sterling Holdings, claiming she was pregnant with my father's child. She caused a scene, demanding that he take responsibility. My father was shocked, panicked. His reputation, his marriage, everything was on the line. He turned to the one person he thought he could trust. "Man, you have to help me. You have to make this go away." This was the moment Man had been waiting for. "I can help you, Uncle, but it will cost you anything. Name your price. I want the CEO position." My father stared at him, the color draining from his face. "What? No, that's Mia's job. She's coming back next month." "I don't care. I want it. If you don't give it to me, everyone will know about your little secret." The betrayal was a physical blow. You're just like your father," he whispered, his voice shaking. Just then, the office door opened, and my uncle, Son, walked in. "Son, you need to talk to your son. He's blackmailing me." My uncle just smiled, a cold reptilian smile. "He's right, brother. You should give him the job. You don't have a son. He's a good boy. He's capable. He deserves it." The full, horrifying truth dawned on my father. "They had been planning this all along. I knew it," he said, his voice filled with a bitter disappointment. "I thought you had changed, but you're still the same snake you were 10 years ago." "Enough talk," Son said, sliding a document across the desk. "Sign it. Appoint Man as the new CEO." "No, this requires a shareholder meeting. I won't do it." "You don't need a meeting, just your signature. We've taken care of the rest." My father refused. He was a brilliant businessman, a fighter. He wouldn't be taken down so easily. But Man had one last card to play. "If you don't sign, Uncle, the video of you and Lynn in the hotel will be sent to every news outlet in the city. And so will the results of her pregnancy test. Is your pride really worth all of that?" He smirked. "And besides, it doesn't matter what you do. I've already bought the loyalty of most of the board members. One way or another, that chair will be mine." The rage, the stress, the betrayal. It was too much. My father clutched his chest, a sudden, sharp pain radiating through his body. He gasped for air, his face turning a deathly pale. My pills," he wheezed, pointing a trembling finger at his desk drawer. Man, for a second, looked panicked. "Uncle Thin, what's wrong?" He rushed to the drawer to get the heart medication, but his father stopped him, grabbing his arm. "No, son, but he's having a heart attack. He needs his medicine, and if you save him, you'll lose your chance at being CEO. Think, boy. Let him be." He pushed his son aside, grabbed my father's limp hand, and forced it onto an ink pad, then onto the documents, stamping his approval. He forged his brother's signature, his movements quick and practiced. "There," he said, handing the papers to Man. "It's done. Now, go. I'll handle this." Man fled, leaving his father alone with the dying man on the floor. Son walked over and knelt beside his brother, a look of twisted triumph on his face. "I told you, brother. If you had just agreed, none of this would have had to happen." He picked up the bottle of pills and dangled it in front of my father's face. "You want this? I don't think you can reach it now." He sat there, watching his brother fade, and he talked. He talked about his jealousy, his resentment, the feeling of always being second best. "You always had everything," he spat. "The business, the money, the beautiful wife, and I had nothing. It's not fair. It was never fair." A single tear rolled down my father's cheek. Son wiped it away with his thumb. "Don't cry, brother. You can rest now. Don't worry about the company. Me and my boy will take good care of it for you." Just then, the door burst open. It was my mother. "Mia, you need to come home. Now. It's your father." The phone call was a blur. The frantic drive back to the city. The sterile, terrifying smell of the hospital. It all passed in a daze. My father had survived, but just barely. The doctor's words were a death sentence of a different kind. He had suffered a massive stroke. He would live, but he would never be the same. He was paralyzed, unable to speak, his mind trapped in a broken body. He would need constant care for the rest of his life. My mother, upon hearing the news, collapsed. The stress and the grief were too much for her weak heart. She was admitted to the same hospital, leaving me, at 25 years old, to face the wreckage of my family alone. Liam and I rushed back to the company, only to find Man sitting in my chair, in my office, as if he owned the place. "Mia, you're back," he said with a smug smile. "What are you doing here? Get out." "My office, you mean? This is my office now. Your father appointed me. The papers are on the desk. The day you were appointed was the day my father had a stroke. If I find out you had anything to do with it, I will destroy you." "Careful, Mia. You're making baseless accusations. The board meets on Saturday, and with these papers, signed and sealed by your father, this company will be mine." Just as he was about to say more, Liam strode across the room and punched him, square in the face. Mons stumbled back, clutching his bleeding nose. "You ever talk to my wife like that again, and I'll kill you," Liam snarled. "Wife?" Man sneered, wiping the blood from his lip. "You're nothing but a pathetic gold digger, living off her family. You should be ashamed. I'd rather be a gold digger than a backstabbing parasite like you." Man, seeing he was outmatched, stormed out of the office. I collapsed into a chair, the weight of everything crashing down on me. I started to cry, deep, racking sobs. Liam came and held me, his arms a strong, safe harbor in the storm. "It's okay, my love. We'll get through this. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." That night, we went to the hospital. My mother was awake, but weak. My father was. Still, I sat by his bed, holding his hand. "Dad," I whispered, "they forced you to sign those papers, didn't they?" "I know they did. Don't worry. Me and Liam, we're going to get justice for you. I promise." "Mia," Liam said, his voice urgent. "I found the address for that girl, Lynn. We need to go talk to her." We found her in a tiny run-down apartment in a bad part of town. She was young, scared, and clearly not pregnant. I didn't waste any time. I slapped her, hard, across the face. "You dare to blackmail my father." It didn't take much. A few threats, a few more slaps, and she confessed everything. She told us how Man and his father had hired her, how they had staged the entire thing. We recorded her confession on Liam's phone, but it wasn't enough. We had her confession, but we had no proof of what had happened in my father's office. The security cameras, we discovered, had been mysteriously malfunctioning for 3 days straight. That night, I couldn't sleep. I had a feeling, a nagging suspicion that we were missing something. "I'm going to the office," I told Liam. "Now? It's 2 a.m. I have to. Something's there. I can feel it." We went back to my father's office. We searched everywhere, through every drawer, every file. Nothing. I was about to give up when Liam picked up a small, ceramic piggy bank from the corner of the desk. "This is cute," he said. "Was this yours when you were a kid?" "Yes," I said, a wave of nostalgia washing over me. "My dad gave it to me. I loved it so much. He kept it here all these years. I took it from him, and as I turned it over in my hands, I noticed something. The eyes. They were different. They weren't painted on. They were lenses. I looked closer and saw a tiny, almost invisible hole on the underside. I shook it, and a tiny memory card fell out into my palm. "Liam," I whispered, my heart pounding. "It's a camera. My dad, he had his own secret camera." We rushed to the nearest police station. The video was horrifying. It showed everything. The blackmail, the heart attack, the cruelty of my uncle as he watched his own brother die. It was all there. The next day, just hours before the shareholder meeting, Sun and Quack Man were arrested. Their plan, so carefully constructed, had been brought down by a child's toy. The aftermath was long and difficult. My uncle and cousin were facing a long list of charges. My father, though stable, remained in a vegetative state. My mother slowly recovered, but the ordeal had aged her, had stolen the fire from her eyes. The company, our family's legacy, was now on my shoulders. It was a heavy burden, but I wasn't alone. Liam was by my side, my rock, my partner in everything. My mother, humbled and grateful, finally saw him for who he was, a good, decent man who loved her daughter. She gave us her blessing, and in a way, she gave him the keys to the kingdom. He had earned her trust. A year later, Chloe and Julian got married in a beautiful, chaotic ceremony. And the year after that, it was our turn. We stood on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the same ocean I had once talked about with Chloe in a cafe, a lifetime ago. We said our vows, promising to love and cherish each other, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer. And as he slid the ring on my finger, I knew, with a certainty that filled my entire being, that no matter what storms came our way, we would face them together. We had found our happiness, not in money or in power, but in each other. And that was a fortune greater than any I had ever known.